This lesson is on solving a proportion. A proportion is just an equation stating that two fractions are equal. This says 3/6 equals 4/8. We can verify that that's true by reducing both of these fractions to 1/2. So we know that that's a true equation. But another way for us to verify that the two fractions are equal is by using what's called the cross product. The cross product is where we just take the top of one fraction times the bottom of the other fraction and multiply them. 3 times 8. Do the same thing with the remaining numbers. Top of this times the other bottom. 4 times 6 is 24. Those two cross products are equal, and that verifies that the two fractions are equal. Besides verifying the two fractions are equal, we can also use this fact to solve the proportion. Notice here I have an x as one of my values. I want to find out what x is, and the easiest way to do this is to cross multiply. 8 times x is 8x. Equals multiplying the other two numbers. 12 times 6 is 72. What we have created is just a little one-step equation. To undo 8 times x, we need to divide both sides by 8. The 8's on the left side cancel out, leaving x, and 72 divided by 8 is 9. Now we can check that by looking at the fraction now, 8 over 12. Does that equal 6 over 9? Of course, we can verify this with cross multiplying, or we could verify it by reducing both fractions. This reduces by 4 on the top and bottom to give you 2/3. 6/9 reduces by 3 on the top and bottom to give you 2/3. So it is true, 8 over 12 does equal 6 over 9. And the way we found that was by cross multiplying. Be careful, when you cross multiply, you are creating an equation, not another fraction. So when I multiply here, I get 5x equals 6 times 15, which is 90. A common mistake is for people to do 5 times x is 5x, and then do 6 times 15 is 90, but to write it as a fraction. At that point, you don't have an equation to solve, so don't make that mistake. Going back here to undo this little one-step equation, divide both sides by 5. The 5's cancel. I get x alone. 90 divided by 5 is 18. Let's do another one. 8 over 12 equals x over 18. Notice the x can be in any of 4 positions. It does not always have to be in the lower right. 8 times 18 is 144. Equals x times 12, which is 12x. It is okay for our variable to end up over on the right side. We will still solve the equation the same way. 12x means 12 times x. Undo it by dividing both sides by 12. The 12's will cancel out on the right side, and 144 divided by 12 is 12. This next example will show you what to do if things don't come out even at the end. The process in the beginning is the same. X times 5 is 5x. 6 times 8 is 48. To solve this, we need to undo the multiplying by 5, so we divide both sides by 5. The 5's cancel over here, and you get the improper fraction 48/5, which may be an appropriate answer for your textbook. However, if you have to change it to a mixed number, you need to divide it out. If you tend to get confused about how to divide for a mixed number, an easy thing to do is just extend this line a little bit, put your curve here, which automatically puts the 5, which is the bottom number, on the outside. Bring your 48, which was the top number, into the inside as the dividend, and now divide. 5 goes into 48 9 times. 9 times 5 is 45. Subtract and get 3. That's a remainder of 3 over the 5 that you divided by. So improper fraction 48/5, or mixed number 9 3/5. Sometimes the problem already begins with decimals, and don't let that bother you. The process is going to be exactly the same. So 2.1 times 1.8 is this arithmetic I've done already over here. When you multiply decimals, remember to count your decimal places. There's a 1 decimal place here, 1 here, which gives me a total of 2 decimal places in my answer. So 2.1 times 1.8 is 3.78, and that is equal to the 3.6 times y. We will solve this the same way we did the other ones. Divide both sides by 3.6 because that's what will isolate the variable. When we divide this, we have got to move our decimal point. We can't divide by the decimal 3.6, so we move the decimal 1 to the right. Move this decimal 1 to the right and on up, and then we begin our dividing. 36 into 37 is 1. Come back and multiply gives us 36. Subtract and get 1. Bring down the next digit, which is 8. Divide again. 36 does not go into 18. We need a placeholder of 0. We also need to add a 0 back behind this 8 so that we can bring a 0 down to continue our division. 36 goes into 180 5 times. And 5 times 36 is 180, so it does come out even as the 1.05. The 3.6 is over here, cancel. We have our y. We've just done that division, equals 1.05. So cross multiplying is a very good skill that you can use anytime you are solving one fraction equal to another fraction.